वेलकम टू सुब्रमणी सुब्रमणी में आपका स्वागत है एंड प्लीज़ हिट द बेल आइकन, प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब. I'm going to talk to you about the things which financial advisors can do, even with super high net worth individuals, and what you should take care of, right? So you may not need some of those things. So first thing that I see is trying to put them into proprietary products from where getting out is very difficult. So if you are in the PMS scheme of anybody and you want to get out, you can't. Secondly, you can't shift from one PMS to another, right? You'll have to finish with one. It is your, suppose you are doing PMS with somebody who is also the owner of the demat account, so which means you have to close that demat account, shift to another demat account. It's not very easy. It's not going to be very easy. So first of all, buying proprietary products, let's say sold by Citibank, managed by ICICI or somebody like that, which is a real estate fund, you have no clue how to even come in and get out of such funds. So proprietary looking products are not very good for you as a retail investor. So stay away from proprietary investment products. It does not make sense. The second thing that they do is put into extremely illiquid investments, right? So if they put into, let's say they create a portfolio of 50 lakhs, which is required for PMS, which is investing in the debt of builders, etc., right? You cannot get out of this product. You just can't. You need the complete total help of the person in whose name you gave the check. You did not give the check in the name of Prudential ICICI Discovery Fund or HDFC Top 100 Fund or things like that. You gave it to somebody else, and that money has been invested in such a way that it is illiquid. You can't get out. They told you that it will be liquid in 7 years, but end of 7 years they are saying we are using a clause by which it will be extended for another 3 years. So you're stuck in that for 10 years. Now being stuck is okay, maybe you don't need the money, but in case you need the money, you're going to come out with a huge haircut, if at all. So will you be able to come out, and will you be able to come out without the help of the person through whom you invested? That's very important. If you buy, let's say, Invesco Infrastructure Fund, and you bought it through an MFD or a financial IFA, whatever you want to call him, and that person falls foul with you, you don't want to see that person, right? You just go to Invesco and remove your money, right? You don't have to go through him. So that's a huge advantage of buying a branded product, so to say, because you can buy it wherever you want it from. You can redeem wherever you want it to. Take a worst case scenario. If your MFD dies, you have no clue what to do with the PMS. You don't know where it is. You've never gone, or you dealt with them, but you're not very happy dealing with them. You have your demat account with them. All your assets are held there. It could be extremely painful. It could be, like I said, the first one, putting into proprietary and illiquid. It's a terrible combination. And third is, of course, to make their presence felt, they complicate your portfolio. So you have an extremely complicated portfolio. You have a PMS of real estate, you have a PMS of equity, you have an art fund, you have some art, you have some real estate bought and given out on rent. So in a very complicated portfolio, you may be actually underperforming the index funds. So it makes no sense to have a very complicated portfolio. But when I complicate your portfolio, it means that you're dependent on me, because then I will use very high jargon saying, oh, this is volatility protected, this is capital protected fund and things like that, and you feel, wow, that's some great value add, and I may be actually crushing your returns. It could be way below the index fund. So be careful about these things. When people use big words to discuss what you're doing, you have to be scared, because investing is not so difficult to do, right? So you can either learn or you can learn to trust. So in 10, 15, 17 years, you learn to develop the trust so much that when the financial advisor tells you don't do this, you don't do that, right? Or MFD, whatever you want to call him. And anybody who tells you that they know what is going to happen in the future, again, you have to be worried. You say, oh, I think the market is going to crash, let us sit in cash. Really? The market is going to crash tomorrow. It's going to stay there for 3 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 years, 22 years. You have no clue. None of us know what the market is going to do in the immediate future. Over 20 years, you can be sure that some countries will do better, some companies will do better, some fund managers will do better, someone will do badly. Yes, all that over 20 years will happen. But over 20 years, will the market returns be greater than debt returns? Very highly likely. So if you continue to do your SIP, you will make money. So, right? So that's a simple thing which we all know. So creating a complex portfolio which you can't understand, then therefore if you die, there is no way how your family will be able to understand what is happening, right? So creating a complex portfolio for you to understand or for your family to understand is a nice way of trapping you and keeping you there and saying, oh look, you need me, without me you can't do well. It could be a small company, it could be a bank, it could be an individual, and that person, if he is in a bank and after he leaves that bank and he goes to another bank, then he'll say, oh that bank was a problem and things like that. But he's the same guy who may have sold you some unit linked plans which are giving suboptimal returns. All those things are genuinely possible. So check out for all these things. You need a simple portfolio. You need a portfolio which you can understand. You need to know that some money will be in debt, some money will be in equity, and today taxation in India is such that it makes sense that your core portfolio is hybrid and not equity, right? So you could do that, and you have very aggressive hybrid funds which will ensure that the debt also is getting taxed at a favorable rate. So these are simple things which you can do. Look at the returns that you are already getting. Don't get carried away by somebody saying, oh I think you should put some money in crypto, you should put some money in REITs, I think you should invest here, you should invest there, I think this guy is giving fantastic returns in PMS. Don't get carried away. You have not kept your money in a savings bank account. Your money is also in good funds, being well managed. You got 18% return last year, 22% return last year, you got 30% return in a pharma fund, something, any of those things are happening already in your portfolio. You are invested in a combination of, maybe you got US securities, you got all that. You don't need to complicate your portfolio. And one more thing, you don't need to complicate your portfolio to get better returns. Yes, of course the marketing will be better, saying, oh we doubled our clients money in 1 day, in 2 days, in 22 days, whatever, all that is gyan. But they are almost telling you, look, we can give you 18% return, 22% return, assuming that your money is lying in a savings bank account. That's not true. Your money is lying in good quality funds, and you are also playing, you're also taking part in the market, right? You're taking part in the market, so you're already capturing a portion of it. Maybe you got 17% return, another better fund may have got 18% return, and this person is promising you 21% return. So he's promising you extra 3-4% return with the risk of liquidity, right? So in your PMS, you don't understand the liquidity, you don't understand whether the fund is well managed, and you may not be competent enough to understand what that person is saying, oh why we underperform. So it doesn't matter. Whereas you can just say, oh this fund manager is only talking, so let me shift from fund A to fund B. It's much easier to invest in a mutual fund and shift rather than in a PMS and be stuck and then withdraw and pay short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains. Far more complicated. You may not be competent to handle that complication. Many people, many of us are not, and if that is not your profession, don't do it. Just stay away. Thank you.